What's up, guys? Welcome to the American Horror Story After Show on the streams.tv. My name is Xavier Brinkman.
Hey everyone, I'm Kristin Carole.
We are shooting live right now, so if you want to tweet us, make sure you tune in and tweet us at hashtag AHSAS. I struggle to say that every week. And
also, I've got the live chat up on YouTube, so if you're on YouTube, be sure to live chat us.
We'll hit you back. And holy hell, again, another epic 90-minute episode that I wasn't ready for.
I definitely wasn't ready for like how much was going on. I also wasn't ready for 90 minutes. I thought it was back
I mean that
60.
you know, you'd think that seeing as we have an after show, we would know the length of the episode we're about to review, but totally got me. And I felt like the first 60 minutes, I was almost like, all right, like that wasn't too crazy. And then the last 30 minutes just went nuts.
Just when you think they couldn't have enough blood in their first episode, like they just pile it on.
So much blood.
Must be a good discount for Ryan Murphy at this point.
Oh my God, they just buying blood in bulk. But all right, let's get started. We have we were trying to work out how we were going to condense all this into 30 minutes, and we're going to do our best because it's serious.
We're going to power through.
All right, so the very first thing that raised our attention here is so we saw the kids hooked up to an IV or whatever you want to call it. And
yeah, basically Kathy Bates is feeding the children and the children are feeding the Countess and her
exactly,
and
that's such a big spin. So it's like the kids. So now we sort of have some insight into how the kids are relevant, right? So it's like that's why they're giving them all the sugar and the candy. So
do you think it's giving also the fact that they are children, like making the blood more fresh than if she was
maybe I mean she's
older?
Obviously this is all this like vanity thing. They're trying to be immortal, like. So it's like the kids drink other people's bloods, like the Swedes and that, and then the blood obviously goes into them, and then their blood goes to Lady Gaga, the Countess. So is she like filtering blood through children?
I think so. It must be like making it sweeter, I guess.
Yeah, so it's like the kids were complaining. They're like, yo, this blood tastes terrible.
I mean, given what we know Kathy Bates put into their shake last week.
Sure.
I don't blame them.
All right,
I bet that tastes horrible. It was liver and all this kind of other crap.
And I almost missed it. For a second. I was like, it's like, hang on a second, this is really important, So it's like, all right, so now we sort of see why the kids are relevant so far. I mean, obviously we know that Holden was stolen from the Santa Monica Pier. That's, this far, that's why we can assume that he was stolen, is because she needs to filter blood through kids. That's whack.
And she likes the blonde kids.
And she likes blonde kids.
Pale blonde kids.
And then the other thing, quickly at the very opening of that, we saw Sarah Paulson just casually sewing Max Greenfield into a mattress.
Which was really quick. I wish they would have explored that more. Like, why the mattress? Why is she putting him in there? Is that what she does to all of her victims?
I'm so emotionally drained right now. I'm like, it's like we watch the show, we quickly, it's like we get mic'd up, it's like lights, camera, action, and then bang, we're on. And this is the first time we're actually thinking about it, Not like last week we all had a bit of time to chill on it.
Yeah, last time we did research. This time,
this time it's fresh. So
more emotion.
Yeah, so I would love to know the reason that they're getting sewn into mattresses, and I don't want to skip ahead here, but obviously we get introduced to Evan Peters' character, and he was putting them, he was putting these victims in all kinds of places in the hotel. So maybe. He had one behind the wall. Maybe that's the reason he put him in the mattress. Like he's doing all these crazy things. Like
so you think she took after him?
Maybe she's following in his footsteps. Anyway, I don't want to.
Or maybe that because there's so many other dead bodies in other places. She's like, well, the mattresses haven't been taken
yet. She's like running out of space.
Open.
I don't know. Messed up. All right. Next thing. So we saw Wes Bentley. We saw Wes Bentley in the hotel room, and the alarm goes over 2:25.
Which I liked. One of the people on YouTube pointed that out to us, which was the specific time. And, we do learn that he's staying in James, Evan Peters' character's room, his office. And so something happened there that's like, in that hotel is a huge moment where it's like waking people up with the radio again.
Yeah, so what the hell happened at 2:25 a.m. that the radio would go off? And it's obviously so significant because it woke the Swede girls up before they got killed. It's woken him up, and
now he's seeing visions when he wakes up too. Yeah. So we saw the quick return of the addiction demon. For about thank God, it was only 2 seconds. I was like, no, Wes Bentley, be safe.
Be cool.
And then he sees Holden again.
Yeah.
And he runs out.
Sure, and then he goes and has that weird drink with Sarah Paulson, she's playing a crack whore very well. I think. What do you
I think she's having so much fun with that role. Like, you just watch her. It's so different from everything else. And somebody had mentioned that this was the first role that she's been in for American Horror Story where she's died. And
True, that's a really good
stayed.
point. Sarah Paulson is actually dead for the first time.
Yeah, she's kind of the first big person to die in there. And I think she's just having the creepiest part, I think, of the whole episode was with her, with Scarlett, where she grinds her teeth. I was cringing.
That was whack. That was whack. So she just grinded her teeth down. That mean you were both just like holding her mouth there.
It just reminds me of that dream that people have when their teeth fall out, but times 100.
And do they, like, if she's dead, did they just grow back? Like, I'm trying to think, was there a scene after there was she shown after that scene?
You know what? I'd have to rewatch that.
Yeah. You know what?
Tweet us if her teeth came back.
Yeah, if she can grow her teeth back.
I think they probably came back.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be able to do stuff like that, or maybe she just decomposed.
Yeah, and then obviously like the bar scene was kind of cool. It gave us a little bit of insight into Wes Bentley, like a little bit more into his character, the straight man with his drinking problem and all of that. So and they tapped right into that, to his alcohol problem, like straight away.
Now, do you think it's a huge problem, or you just think it's something that he likes to kind of keep his mind clear, because he did have a drink?
Sure,
So
and it's like I feel like that these two episodes, they're delving into so many subplots within this hotel. I mean, not only have we got Wes Bentley as a character, you're also seeing so many other layers of him, as well as so many layers of other characters, and it's mind blowing where all this is going to go. And first of all, it's like I read so many positive and negative reviews of American Horror Story Hotel so far. Either people were like, absolutely loved it, Lady Gaga, it was amazing, this is genius, and then the other half was like, I hate it, too gory, too ridiculous, I'm gonna get off. Where are you at so far?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I actually love it too. Tell us what you think. Do you love it or hate it? Because it's such mixed emotions right now. Again, tweet us at #AHSAS, and we'll hit you back, we promise. Next thing, I can't avoid it anymore, would have to be Finn Whitrock.
Yes.
Getting in the mix.
He's left Dandy behind.
Yeah.
Completely revamped into this full of himself model at this fashion show.
He's like not too far off Dandy, but definitely different mannerisms. Yeah.
I mean, still kind of a spoiled rich kid, right? But there's a whole different rocker sense to him. He's not uptight, obviously. He's another drug addict that's in the
He's
building.
loose. And what was that? If anyone knows, tell us what that drug was. I mean, that wasn't cocaine, was it? Because it was like a brown color.
No, the one
maybe my drug
it looked
knowledge
like
is terrible.
He was almost like crushing a pill of some sort
Yeah,
when he was backstage.
It was something weird.
And I loved your comment when we were watching, where he's like, I don't want to be a model anymore. It just scars his face, and you're like, couldn't he just like walk out?
Yeah, you could just stop modeling and you don't have to cut your face, right? Anyway, that was dramatic. But yeah, I think he was awesome. I think it was for me, I think it was such a cool entry for him, like just like walking in, like being absolutely reckless down the
So are you team
line.
Finn or team Matt?
Oh, geez.
That's going to be the question
I don't want
of
to
the
get
day.
involved in this, but yeah, I mean, geez, I'm going to say Finn Whitrock, or Tristan Duffy as his character name is. Yeah, he's a little more interesting. He's a little more reckless. But yeah, I mean, he just walked down the fashion, what's it called?
It's the runway.
The runway. And, almost stabbed someone. I mean, he was about to stab that guy before Lady Gaga sort of like pulled him into line, right?
Yeah, like used like a little bit of her, she mesmerized
yeah,
a bit.
So, I mean, I think that was awesome. And then obviously we saw Naomi Campbell in the mix. What do you think of that?
That was fun. It seemed more like a cameo at that point. And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of wondering, okay, is she going to come back and we're going to see more of her?
Yeah.
Or if that's just her role, we'll see her every so often with Drake and the fashion part of it. So
I felt that too. I mean, she, it's like she had a little bit of an interest in Wes Bentley, but it didn't really go anywhere.
No.
Right? It did, and it definitely seemed like a cameo. But I mean,
everybody's hitting on him
made-
except for Gaga so far.
Sure, they've made like a fair. I mean, for me anyway, I feel like they've made a pretty big deal of Naomi Campbell being in the show. So I'd have to imagine she'd be in for longer than what she was in today, right?
Yeah, and it was just a quick introduction.
Yeah.
So much else going on in the show.
Exactly. And then, so if your brother went missing 5 years ago and you saw him in a coffin, would you feel the need, I mean, do you know what his little sister's name was?
Scarlett.
Scarlett.
Yeah.
So Scarlett, like, she obviously went home that night.
Because how old is she supposed to be
She's
now?
about
She's
10?
like
Or
10,
8 or 10?
8 or 10.
Yeah. So she went home that night, didn't mention anything, and then, like, or was it maybe the next day that she got in the bus, like, went to the bathroom, got out the window, got on the bus. Balls the effort. We live in LA, and I wouldn't go unaccompanied on an LA bus.
No.
So well done, Scarlett.
Definitely would not go
I
on
would
a
need someone
LA
to hold
bus.
my hand. But so she held on to the info until the next day and then went back. If I was 8 years old, I had no chill when I was 8. I'd be like, yo, I saw my brother in that hotel. Why would she keep that to herself?
I feel like you'd still tell people that.
I would tell everyone.
I think as a younger kid, like I probably would have had more of that sense of adventure. I used to go and be a lot more mischievous. Now that I'm older, I'm a little bit more okay.
But if you
maybe
saw
I
your
should
dead,
not go into
if
the
you saw your
hotel with
dead
the
bro,
coffins.
you'd think you'd mention it, right?
But his eyes opened up. So
That
I
was-
think she wanted to get. She seems like a really smart kid. And she probably wanted to get some clarification and go, okay, I need proof. I can't go home. And that's why she took the picture, which was really smart. Too bad the picture was a little blurry. But
Do you think that was
to go
blurry
back
because he turned his head or because he's a
he's a
vampire?
vampire. I tend to think it's because he turned his head more than anything. But I did think about that. But I don't feel like these vampires that Ryan Murphy has created are playing by the same rules.
Yeah.
As we learn later from the Countess when she's talking to Finn or Tristan about what's going on and what are the rules of this new game.
Sure. And so she sort of like, was he kind of like going for her neck there, you think? Is that why Scarlett backed off? That was creepy.
I think they can smell the blood.
Yeah.
So of course they're doing a close picture and like, oh,
Yeah.
my sister.
And then he's
there's
like,
a big blood line, big
Yeah.
vein right here.
Yeah.
So.
And he was just perfectly fine staying where he was. So she's like, all right, sweet. So I found you. Let's get out of here. Let's get back home to our parents. They'd probably really want to see you. And he's like, nah, peace out.
Yeah.
I'm staying right here.
I'm home.
Yeah.
I kind of saw that coming though. I mean,
too.
he's got video games, he's got snacks.
Yeah.
Why would you?
He's a brainwashed vampire. Yeah. Gonna
Got
get
everything
ya.
he wants in there.
All right. So the next big thing that we need to address is Evan Peters.
What did you think? A lot of people, I was reading a lot of tweets earlier that some people were going, this is the best role he's ever had. And other people are going, I'm not believing him as this character.
Okay. Yeah, I first of all, I obviously looked at his English accent. I thought was quite good. Like I have an accent, so and more on the English side of if to the American accent. So I'm pretty hard on it, and I think it was quite good. The only thing I felt was he might be a little young to play the role.
That was my only concern is he
Yeah.
does have such a baby face.
Yeah.
And it does seem very young to even like grow such a mustache
Yeah,
too.
he did just seem a little baby face to be an oil tycoon bajillionaire, right? Like I feel almost, you know what I think? I feel like they could have even switched those roles with Dennis O'Hare, and made Evan Peters the transvestite.
That would have been interesting.
I feel like Dennis O'Hare would have played a really great psychopath, and he would have looked a little more to the appropriate age to fill that role. I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
That would be interesting. Although I'm loving Dennis O'Hare as Liz Taylor.
Me too. So there's always
She's
that.
fabulous. But yeah, I really liked. I thought he was so great in this because we see in the past seasons he's always been kind of. He's a bad guy in a lot of the shows, but like he has like a good heart. He has good intentions, especially in
Sure.
season 1. Is that you think he's like this big creep, and it turns out he's actually the one that is kind of helping.
Yeah.
Thaisa
Evan Peters, right? Yeah,
along.
he's always sort of been like the nice guy that bad things happen to.
Yeah,
Or
this one he's just a total jerk.
or a tortured soul. This one.
Or Satan, possibly.
Satan, yeah. So Ryan Murphy stated, like, in that killer article we read with his Q&A with Entertainment Weekly, right? That Evan, he explained that. He's like, obviously Evan Peters has been like quite a lovable character in the past 4 seasons. This one, he possibly may be the worst person in the world, or the worst human ever. And I think he's bang on. So that was some messed up shit going on.
Yes.
I have to say that was like his
It was
torture
very
stuff
Sweeney Todd too. Like
yeah.
he kills somebody, and then the maid comes in, and she's in love with him, and she's gonna clean whatever he needs.
Yeah.
And will you be the one to kill me first?
Oh
like
man, the maid's something else.
She's
but-
almost more psycho because
Yeah.
she's watching all this go on, and she's in love with it. I always find that really interesting.
And obviously, so and that's the other thing, guys. So his wife was Lady Gaga.
Are we sure about that?
I don't know.
Is that confirmed?
But I think it was. I mean, you see her blonde hair. You see her come in when he stuffs the napkin, the handkerchief in the girl's mouth who's getting buried. I mean, not buried, but he's literally like walling up the wall. I'd be squealing too. And she comes and pulls it out and says, "No, I like it. Turns me on, or I like the squeals, or whatever." That had to have been Lady Gaga, right? And then
I was thinking possibly, but I don't know. They didn't show her face or anything.
But it makes sense because she sort of runs the hotel. She has all the money. I mean, she owns the hotel, I guess, or I mean, she's the top dog at the hotel. She has all the money. It makes sense. I mean, she's a vampire. She's been alive since 1904.
My only thought otherwise was maybe they haven't cast who it is yet, and they always talk about that Emma Roberts wants to come back.
Yeah.
So then my thought was maybe, okay,
Good.
maybe Emma Roberts is coming back that way. Because she has that blonde hair in Scream Queens right now. But I kind of like your theory as well.
That's our predictions, all right? I think it's Lady Gaga. We have Emma Roberts over here. Good call. I did not even think of that. Then real quick, we had the Tristan Duffy and Matt Bomer fight. Sorry that I'm sort of going back and forth on the actor names and character names, but I'm full of emotions right now. That was, pretty cool fight. It's going to lead us into our next point of no beating around the bush on this one again. And Lady Gaga is getting some crazy scenes here, but just this Finn Wittrock and Lady Gaga crazy sex scene just going on.
I thought it was a little tame. Just, okay, they had it in a bathtub, at least for that particular one. The one later on at the end was definitely not as tame, but last week I think really brought it with the blood-sucking orgy going on that. And this week I was just like, okay, they're doing it in a bathtub. Yeah. Cool.
So
it looks a little rough.
Right, so this is the part what I was talking about. We sort of got through 60 minutes and it was like, all right, cool. Like that was quite almost like a transitional episode. And then all the Evan Peters murders happened and then the Lady Gaga blood masturbation session happened.
Yes.
So that's where it was like, holy smokes, like I thought we were good here. But so I mean, like Lady Gaga, I think I don't get I've read a ton of comments, people saying Lady Gaga sucks, what the hell is she doing? Man, I think she's doing an awesome job. I'm not an actor, I'm not a connoisseur, I'm not a scholar in the art at all, but I mean, you have to give credit where credit's due. I think she's doing a really great job.
I agree, she's being so artistic with it. I'm waiting for the point though, I don't think she can have this whole seductive vampire thing throughout the whole I mean, maybe they will, but at some point with the amount of episodes that American Horror Story always does, like we have to find some, and I think it'll be with whoever her, we'll call it maker is. Yeah. That's going to be something where that's where her acting's going to come up because she seemed very vulnerable with that when she was talking to Tristan. Yeah. You kind of reminded me of him, but nobody can be him. Yeah. So you can tell it's like, all right, we're probably going to see some of this later on. Yes, which I'm excited about because I think that'll be really the moment where we see. And Gaga's doing great so far with her acting, but that's kind of the next level. Sure. Okay, can she change the note a little bit? Totally. I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. And I guess my question is for you, right? Do you feel like Finn Wittrock or Tristan Duffy just accepted the vampire thing pretty quick and wasn't really, I mean, I know he's like reckless and out of control. He's just, he's looking for his next high. Yeah. Because And that's the kind of person he is. He's addicted to whatever the next thing is. So I think he's just so excited about this, and I'm sure taking her blood is so it's like a high in in and of itself. So he just like was so like he's whatever. Like whatever. So she mesmerized him too. I guess so. She pulled her little powers, but yeah, I just have to think. His scar was gone. True. It's like I mean, even if I was like reckless like that, I feel like some part of me be like, whoa. She's a vampire and I'm getting turned into a vampire, and judging by movies and True Blood, that means I'm not going to die, and that means several things that probably aren't ideal for a human, right? Which I liked, he asked all those questions too, and that was stuff that all of us as viewers were kind of like, okay, can a snake kill them? Is the sunlight going to kill them? Okay, well we find out that's not true. Love the flashback to the late 70s as well. Her coming in on a horse.
That was pretty rad, and we need that in 2015. Yeah, it's.
You get Xavier a horse, you guys.
Yeah, I need that. I need that shit. So, all right, guys. I think, yeah, to finish off. So, obviously that obviously we saw the sex scene with Lady Gaga. We saw the breakup scene with Matt Bomer and Lady Gaga. So I don't know what. Obviously with the.
If Matt Bomer needs somebody to watch House of Cards with, I'm free.
Yeah, I know that was a real.
That
was a really cool little insight. It's like, okay, we get it. It's very 2015. We're talking about House of Cards here, which was cool. But so we saw that in the preview of the show. We saw it was I didn't get a good look at it, but Matt Bomer was in the preview. So obviously he's out on the street and just like learning to live again. I don't know.
I think he's being captured by Angela Bassett.
Got ya. All right, love it. Another prediction from this girl. Right, guys. All right, well, we're gonna leave you with a short ad break. We'll be right back after this. Peace.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it.
That was freaking
How
love.
did we not figure it
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was like,
How did you get here? No.
Like, kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool.
Shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way and the right way.
But you were like, well, we want to know what's going to happen.
That was cute.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world.
Another beautiful summer at the stream.tv, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Welcome back, guys. If you've just tuned in, you're watching the American Horror Story After Show on the stream.tv. Things are wild. I'm still getting over this. We're still digesting what the hell just happened on this episode. But first, we're going to get to got a couple of Twitter questions that have come in. And this one is from one of my favorites who's actually been with us since last season of American Horror Story that I hosted. Her name's Donna. She's a legend. And her Twitter handle is @Akasha the Damned. And her question is, Xavier, why doesn't Holden look older, or did I miss the part where the rest of the show is in 2010 or 2011? So, Donna, good question. And obviously, we've pretty much covered it. Like, I feel like with this episode, that as soon as they get turned, they're just not aging.
Yeah, they stay the same age and keep their beautiful skin and everything.
So even for these kids, and I mean, and it was cool that Holden mentioned when the sister showed them the photo, showed him the photo, he's like, well, what happened to you? And she's like, well, I just aged, you clown. Like, what are you doing? You know, why do you still look that age?
Makes sense the kid didn't know that, though, either.
Yeah.
Just like,
Totally,
you
yeah.
look so different.
Obviously.
I think we'll see him get turned, too. Because there were some set photos like with her and Holden holding hands like outside what looked like, now that we know it was the Santa Monica Pier where he got taken. So I think we might even see that.
Sure.
Or explain it a little bit more.
You know, and people have been asking on Twitter as well, it's like, where do these kids come from?
She just like hangs out at the pier.
Where does she get them from? And I mean, I think we're starting to, from what we've seen this, like on tonight's episode, I feel like we're sort of piecing it together. It's like, okay, so she needs blood to be, I'm going to say filtered, am I right there? To be filtered through these kids, and she's having them, I doubt she'd be doing it herself, but she's having them stolen somehow. You agree?
I don't know. I tend to think she likes the hunt, because we saw even earlier when she's trying to get, Donovan to go out with her. She's like, we're not going to this event just to go. We're going to hunt.
Yeah.
So I tend to think the whole exciting part of her is getting the victim in.
Sure.
And part of the reason why she ended up masturbating as well while that whole scene
okay.
was going on was that she likes the kill.
Sure.
I think she's out there doing it herself.
Sure, and I guess you're not really going to question it too much if a blonde lady is carrying a small child with the same color hair.
Yeah.
It looks pretty
Actually,
fitting.
that's a good point as well. That could be also why she's choosing all these children that look the same.
Yeah, because I guess they look exactly like her. So I hope that answered your question. Donna, thanks for tuning in. And I'm talking to Donna here. No, I'm not ending the show here. I'm just saying, Donna, thanks for all your support.
thanks,
She tweets us every week. She's a legend. All right, you got any questions for us? I know you have some.
I had one on the live chat about Queen Bee Jessica Lange from Jordan Thaniel. I believe that's how I'm saying that correctly. How do you think Jessica Lange will return?
If
She
that's
does.
very presumptuous.
She's got to.
What do you guys think? Is Jessica Lange gonna return? She was. I mean, I read articles last season. She was just adamant. How old is she? She's 60.
That's a good question.
Something like, I think she's like 63 or 64. She's like, dang it, I just want to retire. I've made so much money as an actor. She's been acting her whole life and she's been super successful her whole life.
Whether or not she'll return in Hotel, I think she will return at least as a cameo in another season. I just feel like her and Ryan Murphy are so close that if anybody can convince her to at least do a small part, like a cool last-minute cameo, it's going to be her. I like the one person said that Jessica Lange should maybe be her mother to Lady Gaga's mom. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
like they could put some sort of twist in that here, but even if she doesn't show up in the season, she's like, I need a break.
Yeah.
Then I think she'll for sure be back in another season.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's just making a stand. Maybe she's like, you know what? I said no, and if I keep coming back, it's never going to end. I don't know. But tell us what you think. That's a really good question. It's been blowing up. Like, everyone is talking about Jessica Lange. So do you think she will come back or not? Put your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll hit you back. Any more questions?
No, that was it for on the live
Perfect.
chat. A lot of people loved Lady Gaga, and they were like, make sure you talk about her, make sure you talk about Evan Peters.
Yeah.
We got everybody that.
All right, I think we got it covered, guys. Got a couple of Twitter shout-outs. To my man, Black Irish Rye, you're a legend. You have been watching since last season and always tuning in and giving us awesome comments. So thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. Akasha the Damn Donna, I've already given you some love. At John Tweets New York NYC. He sent us some good questions this week, man. Appreciate it. And at Dan Robe 06945372. Thank you, mate.
And I got to do a shout out on the live chat to Joshua Name, and he said specifically for a shout out, so we're shouting you out. And everybody else in the chat who's been like really great about interacting with all of us. And even on YouTube, I know Dave G, you wanted it for Walking Dead, but I'm going to do it here as well. So shout out to Dave G on YouTube.
Awesome, guys. I think that's all we have time for. Tell us, Kristin, where we can find you.
You guys can find me at Kristin Carole 13 on both Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. And my name is Xavier Brinkman, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Xavier Brinkman. So, guys, thank you again so much for tuning in with us. You've been watching the stream.tv for the American Horror Story After Show. Make sure you're tweeting us all week using the hashtag, you say it.
Hashtag AHSAS.
It's really hard to say. Thanks so much, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, you guys. See you next week.